So my name is Kristy Palleria. I am the VP of HR and OD here at Endries International. Been with the company for just about 5 years. Endries International is a organization that works with manufacturers and customers around the globe and provides them with fastener and other related industrial distribution components. So we work with manufacturers to make sure that they are able to put together their equipment and manage all of their fastener and Class C components. So a large international distributor. So before Classet, our biggest challenge when it came to hiring that we brought Classet in for was, it wasn't like the lack of applicants. It was the time and effort really at the end of the day required to identify the right candidates, do it quickly and consistently, right? Especially for our more high volume roles. So those frontline roles in our organization. So those within the operations or the warehouse, those that were more maybe entry level within the customer support teams. So we would see a high volume of candidates when we put roles out there, but our recruitment and our business partner team, spent just a disproportionate amount of time, screening resumes, scheduling conversations, doing all of that like administrative logistic work, and then also reviewing candidates, right? Making sure that they had all their notes together, that they documented everything the candidate told them. So again, we really looked at that time versus results effort and just saw a very disproportionate effort needing to be put in for some of those higher volume roles, which is really what we went to market for, to look for a solution that could help us and empower our team to do things faster and meet both the business needs as well as the candidate experience. That was something that we were very, very conscious about. So really, scaling, screening, improving speed, but still aligning with our standards around fairness, compliance, candidate experience, all of those things. Yeah. My statement on that is I don't even remember the implementation process because it was that easy. It was super straightforward, intentional, took a matter of a couple weeks. Systems really intuitive. Once you get it implemented and connected to your ATS, the workflows are there. You didn't really have to reinvent any processes. It just connected into our current processes. I think we made a couple minor tweaks to make it work for Classet. But I mean, gosh, it was so minor and so fast and easy that the implementation process, which I can't say I've ever experienced in another or technology I've implemented, was not memorable because it was that easy. From our perspective, it's been a meaningful reduction in time to hire. I wish I had statistics for you. I don't right now, but really, particularly from the frontline and operational, candidates are screened and engaged faster. We're not having to spend a lot of time, kind of chasing the applicant. We know at the end of the day that a lot of our applicants for those frontline roles, when they apply to our organization, they're also applying to, two, three, four, maybe a dozen other organizations. So we're seeing a lot faster engagement. We're seeing a lot quicker being able to get the right candidates in front of our hiring managers, and our ability to close roles is just significantly faster, and it's easier. There isn't a lot of administrative work behind it. The manager is seeing the same exact notes that our HR team is on those candidates. So we're being able to make decisions quicker versus trying to play the game of telephone. Hey, I talked to them. I think they told me this. Hey, go back. Did they tell you anything about this? Everything's right there at our fingertips. So we're all kind of seeing that same information right away. So again, it's really smoothed out. It's given a lot of ability to move at the manager's pace too. So the manager's not necessarily waiting on HR to prioritize their role either, because every manager thinks their role is the most important, which it is. But we are one and they are many usually. So again, those managers are getting the attention to their role right away, and they're not having to wait for it to fall in line with the grand scheme of everything else we've got going on. So again, it just kind of speaks to that reduction and that true time to hire for us. It's been pretty cool to watch and to see. Yeah. Yeah. And I'll say we had those same exact reservations. Absolutely. Both the taking away the human element as well as, just compliance and risk management. Cause you hear all the war stories out there right now of, AI being challenged in courtrooms and whatnot. And what we really liked about Classet is the fact that it's really not making any decisions. All it is streamlining that initial process for us, that initial really heavy lift on identifying the right candidates, the candidates that really actually want to engage with you, and then making sure that we're transmitting all the information to those people that are actually going to make the hiring decisions. So from an HR or recruitment standpoint, it's simplified their worlds, but has not taken the power out of their hands to make sure that we are bringing in the right people, and it's not making any judgment calls for us. It's really just doing that initial fact finding, right? It's making sure that the people that we are reaching out to are getting reached out to quickly. We're recording everything they tell us. We're not missing anything, and we're being able to make the right hiring decisions faster and with a more well-rounded view than even we can when there's that human element doing that initial phone screen, right? There's nothing missed in this. Everything is documented, and we can always refer back to it. So it's almost kind of gone in the opposite direction. Our initial process is a lot cleaner and probably even more compliant than it ever was before, because we have that AI tool in there, and there's no room for missing anything or forgetting to write anything down. So I've worked in several different industries now, and although it's not totally unique to distribution by any means, it's the first time I've really encountered and experienced this is the the fast paced local labor market competition. Right, we have high volume roles where we're seeing a lot of applicants, or we're needing to hire quick because we either have either individuals leaving and we can't have that gap, and there's nobody to cover that, or we're bringing on new customers and we want to make sure that they have the right experience. So that fast hiring local labor market competitiveness with roles that are operationally critical, but you would think they're easy to staff, but they're actually pretty hard to staff sometimes. So candidates applying to, like I said before, many different employers at the same time, delays their interaction with you if you're not the first person to respond, right? So if they've applied to 10 people and they're going to only talk to the first two, they're probably not going to talk to the third, fourth, fifth company that calls them most of the time. So we want to be that first one. That speed to candidate is so much more critical in the distribution industry than I've experienced in any other industry. So that's where it's really like been a super big game changer, because it doesn't matter if they apply at 10 o'clock at night. It doesn't matter if they apply at 10 o'clock in the morning. Joy is going to interact with them at their pace and at the time in which they are engaged in the application process. So that's been the one thing that I think I haven't experienced in any other industry that I really do experience here in the distribution world, that has been a big game changer for us. Yeah, so we did kind of go out and look at a few different things. And I think my biggest advice, especially when you're introducing new technology or AI right now, is be clear on the problem you're trying to solve. AI works best when you use it to remove friction, increase consistency, or give people back time in their day, which is kind of the three things that we were looking to do. We weren't looking for somebody to help us make decisions. We weren't looking for some of the other things that we kind of went out and saw in the marketplace. We wanted to make sure that we were really clear on our ask. So when we found Classet, it really, at the end of the day, checked all the boxes. We wanted to make sure that our process was compliant from an HR, legal, operations, all of those different areas, that we weren't causing major disruption or having to have our managers learn a new tool or have a new place to log in or all those other things. So that's really where Classet fit all the bills. It was going to be a speed to candidate. It wasn't going to be a new process. All of the candidate details go to our manager's emails, so they're not having to go anyplace else to look for it, right? It's at their fingertips, that the moment that candidate completes that interview. So again, it's all of those things. Just be clear, what's the problem you're trying to solve, and then go out and find the solution, because it's out there. Yeah, my biggest thing is just the people that we worked with at Classet. They were just super easy. They made my recruitment team that was nervous, right? How is this going to replace me? What is this going to do? Is Kristy going to turn around in 6 months, and she's only going to need three of us versus the many that we have. And the team at Classet, just they calmed those fears right away, and the team got really excited really fast. I think AI can be really scary if it's not positioned well, and I'm not an expert in that, and the team at Classet was able to do that and do that well. So that's about it.